The most dangerous sound in a meeting isn't conflict, it's silence. Because when your team stops speaking up, it usually means that they've checked out. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why your team has stopped speaking up and what you can do about it. Reason number 1, the expert trap. In meetings, the fastest way to shut down discussion is to share your solution too early. As leaders, we're often promoted because we're experienced. We know the business, we solve problems, and we know the answers. But the moment that you walk into a meeting and say, hey, here's what we should do, you unintentionally end the conversation. Your team hears something very different. They hear that the boss has already decided, and at that point, your team stops offering alternatives. Not because they don't have ideas, but because they're thinking, what's the point? This is what I call the expert trap. The better that you are at solving the problems, the more that you unintentionally stop others from solving them. Instead of leading with answers, lead with questions. Ask, what am I missing? What concerns do you have? Who sees this differently? Your job as a leader isn't to have the best ideas. It's to create an environment where the best ideas can emerge. And sometimes that means being the last person to speak. Reason number 2, silence isn't always fear. In meetings, leaders often assume that quiet people don't have anything to contribute. But that's a mistake, because not all silence is fear. Sometimes it's processing. Some people think by talking, and others think before they talk. When a question is asked and the loudest person immediately starts talking, then others are forced into reactive mode. The discussion becomes dominated by the quickest voices instead of the best ideas. This is especially true for introverts and deep thinkers. But as a leader, a solution that you can use is to give everyone 3 minutes for silent brainstorming. Let everybody have 3 minutes to write down their ideas. No discussions, no interruptions, just thinking. Then go around the room and collect input. What you'll discover is sometimes the people that speak the least have the most valuable input. If you want more participation, don't just create safety, create space. Reason number 3, people need permission to be wrong. Here's what I mean. In meetings, leaders often say that they want innovation. And I know from working on technical projects that innovation requires risk. And risk means that people will occasionally suggest ideas that don't work. The problem is that many leaders unintentionally punish those moments. Someone shares an idea, and the leader immediately explains why that won't work, and then the room moves on. And everybody watching learns the same lesson. Stay quiet because speaking up isn't safe. Great leaders respond differently. Instead of asking, why would we do that? They ask, what led you to that conclusion? Instead of immediately shutting an idea down, great leaders explore it. Because sometimes there's valuable insight hidden underneath an imperfect suggestion. When people feel safe being wrong, they become willing to think creatively. And when your team thinks creatively, innovation becomes possible. It's important to remember that a team didn't become innovative because they always had great ideas. They became innovative because they were willing to share imperfect ones. Reason number 4, defensiveness silences future feedback. In meetings, many leaders say that they want honest feedback, but then they become defensive the moment that they receive it. Maybe they didn't raise their voice, maybe they didn't criticize, but your reaction sends a message. A sigh, a crossed arm, an immediate explanation, or a quick dismissal. Your team notices it all. And your team remembers how leaders respond when challenged. If every disagreement turns into a debate, then people just stop disagreeing. And it's not because they changed their mind, but because it's not worth the effort. One of the most powerful phrases that a leader can use is "tell me more." That's it. It's not a defense. It's not a rebuttal. It's not justification. It's just curiosity. Curiosity keeps conversations alive. Defensiveness shuts them down. And if you want honest feedback, then be mindful of how you're receiving it, especially if it's uncomfortable. Reason number 5, psychological safety is built before the meeting. In meetings, leaders often expect openness during high-stakes discussions. But psychological safety doesn't suddenly appear the moment you need it. It's built long before the meeting starts. It's built when leaders ask for feedback. It's built when leaders give credit to others. It's built when leaders actually act on suggestions. Trust is the accumulation of hundreds of small moments. And when it exists, people are willing to take interpersonal risks. They challenge assumptions, they raise concerns, and they offer ideas. They tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If your team is silent today, then don't assume that the silence started in today's meeting. It's been building for months. A meeting where everyone agrees isn't necessarily a healthy meeting, but a meeting where everyone speaks is far more valuable. Leadership isn't about controlling the conversation. It's about creating a conversation that's worth having. In your next meeting, pay attention. Who's speaking? Who's not? Whose ideas are getting explored? And whose ideas are getting ignored? And if the room feels quiet, then resist the urge to fill the silence. Wait, ask another question, get curious. Because the breakthrough that you're looking for is often sitting on the other side of an uncomfortable silence. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm Catherine. This is Leadership Lab 360. Please, if this video helped you think about leadership differently, then give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.